Hello everyone, buongiorno a tutti. Hope everyone is doing fine. We are starting the webinar in a few seconds. Hope everyone can hear me well. If you cannot, just let me know in the chat box. I will also switch the webcam so you can see me, so you know who I am. All right, very good. And we will start the webinar now. I think everyone is connected. That's very good. I think I will switch off the webcam just to show you some slides. Then we're going through the main features of CMDB READY2USE. This is just a very introductory webinar about the main features of the tool. It's not going to be very technical. It's just to let those who don't know yet the tool very well to get to know it. Okay, then I'm switching off my webcam and then I'm turning off the slides. All right, so let's start. Just a step back. CMDB READY2USE is based on CMDBuild, and CMDBuild is the project that we started to develop around something like 15 years ago. And it is a configurable web app which lets you model and manage database containing any kind of assets and handle the related workflow operations. So it's not just for IT assets, although it did start as an IT asset manager, but then it became a generic asset management tool. For this reason, we have customers who are using CMDBuild for managing any kind of assets, particularly those that are very unique and they don't find any tool that would suit the management of those, and of course handle the workflow operations, the management and maintenance. So was born in officially was born in 2005 and projected and developed by us, Tecnoteca. We are an Italian company based in Udine, the northeastern part of Italy. So far, it has been translated. CMDB has been translated in 17 languages, and its core code includes 25 years of work. It has been downloaded 20,000 times in 1 year, so it has an average of 20,000 downloads per year, which is this information certified through the site SourceForge, and it is used by a lot of important public and private institutions, both in Italy and abroad. Of course, we started first approaching Italian customers, but then we quickly became international, and now we have a lot of customers from overseas, from the United States, from South America, Russia, Australia, China, Japan, and South Africa, and other African countries. So we do have a lot of foreign customers as well. From our experience, then we realized that CMDB was mostly being used for managing IT assets. So for this reason, we gather all the information we acquired during these 10 years of development, and we put all that into one tool, and we called it CMDB READY2USE. READY2USE, so it's just a CMDB configuration which can be immediately used within the production environment. So we put all the most common workflows that our customers asked us. We put the most common reports, dashboard, the database structure, and all the most common elements, features that our customers asked us during these 10 years, and we put all that into CMDB READY2USE. Of course, it follows the ITIL best practice. The ITIL is Information Technology Infrastructure Library. For those who don't know, it's just a set of practices for the IT service management, basically aligning the IT services with the needs of the business, or the needs of the company. So it comes from the experience of more than 100 CMDB installations performed on our international and national customers. So CMDB Ready to Use contains the data model areas that we are going to see in a few minutes, and I will talk about it while we have the hands on the tool. So let's go forward for now. It does include some workflows, some pre-configured workflows. Which is the incident management workflow, which allows you to manage the support requests that are forwarded by non-technical users or technical users when IT services fault, of course, or when any fault happen, then the users can submit their request either through the main interface of CMDBuild, which is what we're going to see in a few minutes, or through the other two interfaces that I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. Sorry that what I forgot to say is that you can always write your questions in the chat panel on the left part of your screen, and then I will get to those at the end of the webinar, just as we do. It's became a routine now. We collect all the questions and we try to answer them all at the very end of the webinar. So meanwhile that I speak, please feel free to write all the questions you got. It does also, in CMDB Ready to Use, also contains the request fulfillment workflow, which is also, of course, an ITIL process, and this happens when the user requests a service from the catalog. It just works as it would work when you, in an e-commerce website, you select the item you want to purchase from a catalog, and then you send the request for the purchase of it. It just works in the same way in Ready to Use, but instead of by e-commerce, of course, the users select the service or the object they need, a new PC, a new printer, or the activation of antivirus software, whatever. They select it from the catalog and they send on the request, which needs to be checked and approved, and then the IT specialist gets the message, then that user needs that service of that object and that asset, and he will perform the operation accordingly. Another process that we implemented and you can find in CMDB Ready to Use and you can start using straight away is the change management workflow. This is just as the one we saw, but it's for non-standard requests. So all those requests that don't belong to the catalog, and of course it does make sense to include in the catalog only the most common requests and not all the possible requests that someone could have. For example, if a user needs a specific new report, or if he needs a new dashboard to filter, to see, to view some of his part of the database, then and that the report or dashboard doesn't necessarily is not needed by everyone else, then there would be a unique request, customized request, and then in this case the user would use the change management workflow in order to get that. It just works in the same way. Of course, what I didn't say is that our tool is extremely flexible, and all the workflows that I'm talking about now, the database structure, the reports that we will see later on, those are all features that can be fully customized. The workflows can be deconstructed and rebuilt in another way. The database structure, same with everything else in our tool, without having to touch one single line of the source code. And that's, I think, one of the most important feature of our tool is to be able to customize it in a very, very deep way without having to touch the source code. So if you don't touch the source code, of course, you are still eligible to get the new updates as soon whenever a new version comes out. Then there's the asset management workflow for management the configuration items movement during their whole life cycle, from when it enters into the company, from when to the end of it until it's disposed. Then we also put into the CMDB READY2USE wizards, which are just guided operations on wiring and IP address use management. So for preventing mistakes, we included those two wizards for, as I said, wiring management, IP addresses management. Also, we did include eight reports. You can see the list here. So the assets inventory, which this one we're gonna see. We can even look at them all. But then you can also have a report for the open processes, the incident and request timetable, and mean time between failures, locations with asset recs layout. This is something we're definitely going to see in a few minutes. Again, the reports can be customized and created in a very easy way using an external tool, which is of course open source as well. It's called iReport, and you can independently create your own reports, as a lot of our customers do, or you can get us to create them for you if they're too complicated, or if you don't have time to do so. Or you can get our training and we can teach you how to create new reports. Then we also include some dashboards, which are going to see very soon. And then the dashboards include the open incidents and requests per year, per month, per status, so open, closed, on which step the request is, with the average closing time of incidents and requests, the open incidents and service level agreement assets by status, by availability, item type, and so on. And again here, to create a new dashboard, it's not complicated at all. You can do it yourself or ask us to do that for you. Also, that's a very important feature we wanted to include in CMDB READY2USE, the connectors. We put 3 connectors as a standard feature: the one with Active Directory, one with OCS inventory, and VMware vCenter for the virtual servers. Again, we did, for all our customers, we did develop a lot of other connectors to other tools. We could say that almost every tool can be connected to CMDB READY2USE, as long as it has a web service interface. 99% of the time we can connect it, and then so that the tool can feed information to CMDB READY2USE database. I mentioned before that there's one basic interface. That's what we're going to see in a few minutes, and there's other 2. One of those is the self-service portal. This is an interface which we're also going to see in this webinar, which lets the non-technical user have access to CMDBuild READY2USE, actually without knowing that they are using CMDB READY2USE. So in a very user-friendly way, and just going from their company's website, they can report failures and check the resolution item. They consult the service catalog and ask for standard services, which is and in this case they are going to trigger the request fulfillment workflow, which we just talked about. Ask for non-standard services, change management workflow, or they can consult the list of assigned equipment and subscribed services, or they consult the frequently asked questions and any IT news. And we're going to see if there's any important IT news in the service portal that we're going to see. I think there is one, but I'm not saying anything. You will find out yourself. The third interface that CMDB READY2USE can be accessed from is the mobile. We do have a mobile app both for Android and iOS devices, smartphone and tablet of course, and it does implement all the main functionalities and features of the desktop interface. So you can navigate through the menus, you can manage the data cards with all the relations and attachment, take pictures and attach them to the asset, or when you manage an incident, the IT specialist or the teams working fixing the issue, the fault, then they can also attach a picture. when they resolve the problem, or the one that opens the ticket can attach a picture just so that the help desk knows better what the problem is. Of course, you can search, filter data, you can manage workflows with the main widgets, of course, and print reports from the mobile interface. It also, as I said, allows you to take pictures and store them into the CMDB as attachments, and to read QR codes and view the related data card. So from CMDBuild, when you create a new asset, you can create a QR code label, which you can attach to the hardware, to the asset itself, and then when you need to get that card and you don't know what asset that one is, you can just scan it with your smartphone or tablet and use it as a QR code reader and retrieve the related data card and get all the information, see if it's in the right place where it's supposed to be, see if it belongs to someone or not, and use it as an inventory tool. Well, then it's the possibility of using the QR codes label are several. Okay, so in this webinar, what we'll do is it will let you discover the main features of Ready2Use. We already did a little bit, but we're going to put our hands on, actually our eyes on the Ready2Use interface, focus on some Ready2Use use cases, and then at the end of that, answer your questions via chat. I don't see anyone asking questions, which means either that I'm very clear or that you don't have any question, or you fell asleep. I'm not sure which one of those. Anyways, again, just kidding, of course, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask them in the chat box. All right, so I will show you now the CMDBuild interface. Okay, you got when you download and start using CMDB Ready2Use, you get to this interface here. You basically you have two different modules for this interface. The data management module and the administration module. This is the data management module, and is where all the users that don't necessarily have the full rights to work on the engine of the tool have access to. So the data management module is where everything happens. You got your database structure here on the left, which we divided into these folders and classes and cards. To us, that's a class, and this is a card. So, for example, internal employees, it's a class, and this is a card. A card is composed by different values: the code, the number, last name, first name, email. In this case here, and same with all the other elements in the database. Again, here this structure is just what we thought it was best. But if it doesn't properly fit into your database structure, you can definitely change it in an extremely easy way, as I'm going to show you now. Okay, so we got the employees section, the locations, so the buildings, floors, rooms, and the first report here, the one we talked about it before. This is just the locations with asset report. So you get here, you get the building you have, which floor, which room, and also the items that are in that room. So if in the database, you know, for example, that this monitor here should be in room R01, and it's actually in room R02, I don't know. You can check that again with the QR code printed and see if it has been moved. If it's not there, or if it's actually still there and assigned to the right person. This is just for every building and every room, every floor and every room in the floors, all the assets that are included. You can of course change it, configure it, change the logos, change the colors, change the structure, change the elements to be shown in a quite easy way. Then we got the purchases folder with the suppliers, employees, purchase order cards, the networks, VLAN, APN, VPNs, IP ranges, network interfaces. These are the two wizards we talked about, so the IP addresses management and the wiring management wizards too. Workplaces, you got the desktop, notebooks, mobiles, client software, and the peripherals, so monitors, printers. And in the meantime, here you got the report, the meantime between failure. Of course, this report could be placed anywhere else. This is just what we thought was the best visualization. So, for example, here you can select which asset type you want to see the meantime between failure. Let's say, I hope there is, okay, for this, the item I picked, there was no failures. There has been, so for the monitors, but if there had been, you would have seen here the item code, serial number, and so on. Another very important report is the one here, is the inventory at a certain date. So if you want to know your, at the certain date, which elements, which assets were in your company, you can select it. You see on the 23rd of May at midnight, and you will see all the elements that were there. And you, of course, you can click, and the card on the card will open. Yeah, well, in this case, it was not connected, but it would have been it would have opened the card. So infrastructure, workplaces, infrastructure, we've seen those two reports, and the dashboard here. Then you got the infrastructure, the physical servers, the virtual servers, the clusters, network, storage, racks. Racks, very interesting, very nice records we got. Report we got here is a rack layout. You see for the rack R65M5. Which is composed of 55 units. You know which ones are already taken and by which server. So you also know if the front part of the rear part is occupied by the server. Then you got the software, where the application comes to database, infrastructure, software licenses are managed, telephony, service desk. This is the incident management, request fulfillment, change management, and the IT process extra management. These are 4 workflows. The one we talked about, the incident is for any fault. The request fulfillment is that for the one we talked about, just as the e-commerce, when the user users pick a service from the catalog. The change management when they need a non-standard service, and the IT process management, extra management, which is a small workflow that lets you select which process you don't want to receive the notifications. Let's say, for example, you know that there is a problem which won't be fixed until next month, and instead of receiving notification every 2 days that you that there's this problem that has not been fixed yet, you can select the delay and avoid notifications from during a certain delay of time for that process. And of course, the SLA dashboard and the knowledge base that contains all the management information. Service desk, we just saw, service catalog, assets life cycle, the asset management workflow, which we talked about from when an asset comes into the company until we dispose of it, and then the self-service portal, which we are going to see in a few seconds. So this is the first part of what I wanted to show you about the database. Some other thing, quite interesting thing, I think this one, for example, for the notebooks here, So we know that this notebook here has a warranty end date of on the 4th of June, and this is something we're going to see in a few seconds. But what I wanted to show you here is that you got all the information you want about who's assigned this laptop to, and it's in use, where it is, the relation, the history, when he was entered into the system, and also the attachments. You can attach, for example, here the brochure or whatever information you need to have on your asset, so the user has it on hand. One other thing I could show you is the relation graph. We would need a whole webinar just to talk about the relation graph and how powerful it is. But for now, we'll just show you, just so you know, that there is a relation graph which lets you see how the elements and the assets are related to each other. So we know that we select the laptop, the notebook. We know it is assigned to this external employee called Adam Spencer. It is in room 01, first floor of the AOC AON Center, and it is in this building here. You can add new levels here, and for example, let's put 2 levels, and it will become, of course, a bit more complicated, but it will still keep its 3D shape. You can move around. You can see all information by clicking on the icon. The icon, of course, these are standard icons, but you can change them and put them whichever you want. So this was for the data management module. I would switch now to the administration module. Just by clicking here, administration module, you get here, and here again you got your database structure. Let's say I want to add a new class. I will show you how easy it is. I just click on add new class. I noticed that my company still uses the fax machine, quite old-fashioned, but the charm of the vintage. So I wanted to add it here, fax machine. I wanted to inherit the values, the standard values from, let's say, the phone hardware. Just click on save. Success. That's very good. Then also I can now select the attribute I want to my asset to have. So every time I create insert a new card that belongs to the fax machine class, I will have or not have to fulfill these values. The CPU speed doesn't really make sense to me, so it's not active. The HD size, I don't think my fax machine has any HD, so I will just unclick it and then save, and I won't see it. If I need to, if for example I want the assignee to be mandatory, so every time I create a new fax machine and insert it into database, I want it that the assignee is fulfilled, the assignee value is fulfilled. I will just click on mandatory, and it will become mandatory. Otherwise, you won't be able. The process won't let you save the tool won't let you save the new item. Okay, then you just need to go. If you want to see it here, you just in the data management module, you just go on menu. You got here the classes and the fax machine here. Very easy, telephony, very easy, drag and drop. There you got it. Save, and that's it. That's a new card that's been created, and it has been inserted into the custom menu. So it'll now we're running this CMDBuild into this server that we use just for the demo, which is not the fastest on earth, but still works fine. Now I just need to refresh, and under telephony I will find my fax machine. Very easy to do, very quick, and everyone can do it. And then this was just to show you how easy it was to create a new card and new elements, so modifying the database structure. All right. So then these are these two the main interface of CMDBuild. The administrator will usually have access to both. So administration mod, data management module, which is this one here, and the administration module, where you do the configuration, where you create new classes, where you set the roles for each group. So you know what they can do, what they cannot do. You set the permissions, what they can read, write, or none of those. And in a very high level of detail, as you see here. This again would need a long time just to explain it all, but just here to show you a little bit, to let you understand how everything works. Here you got the processes, and then again the classes we just saw before. Okay, then as I said, we do understand that this is not extremely user-friendly. So for non-technical users to work in this interface, although it's true that you can select and set really a lot of roles and grants, so each and every user can read and write only what they need to read and write. Being said that, we thought about developing what we call the self-service portal for letting the non-technical users a more friendly way of approaching the database and having benefits of its functions. So here I'm logging in just as Adam Anderson, and I will just show you. This, of course, can be configured with the company's logo, with the colors you want. It can be extremely customized, and can be made according to the company's colors, logos, whatever. And of course, it will be accessed from the website of the company. In the last news, if you remember, we talked about there was some big news, and of course it had been put on the wall here in the last news. And this is about the third CMDB Day Live. We're going to hold a CMDB Day. This is going to be the fourth one. It's not going to be the third. There's a mistake. It's going to be the fourth, because the first one happened in Udine, then the second one in Bologna, Rome, and then the fourth one will happen in live on the net. So everyone from all over the world can access to it. It will be a full day of sharing experiences from users from all over the world of CMDBuild, and of course CMDB Ready to Use and OpenMate. We will also present the new features, what the roadmap. It's going to be a full day only focusing on CMDBuild. The CMDBuild. It's very easy actually to correct the mistake here. Just going into the here in the data management module. The classes, and just trust me, it's the fourth one. I'm not going to correct it. It would take too long to just correct it and then refresh. And okay, what I wanted to show you here is that from the self-service portal you can submit an incident or a service request or ask a question. Okay, here if let's say these are general are incidents that happen, and the users can get the answers to solve them very quickly, or if the user did not find a solution, it can submit the incident here. Just with a short description, extended description, area, hardware, software, network. You can attach a picture of the issue and then send it on. It will get it to we'll get the help desk will get a notification for that and start the resolution problem. Then the Aaron Anderson here, you can select you can see the dashboard, my profile, my account. Here I just put a random picture, which is not sure if everyone knows him. That's Pier Giorgio Perotto, which is the Italian inventor of the first ever personal computer. So, and he was Italian. He's just passed away around 10 years ago. And his name was Pier Giorgio Perotto. So that was about it for the self-service portal. There's also the knowledge base with all the again with all the incidents that are put into the knowledge base, or the IT news. The users can ask questions. They can have a look at useful links, OpenOffice, CMDB, OpenMain, Firefox, whatever. You can, of course, everyone can put their useful links here. Okay, I think that's it for the main features of CMDB Ready to Use. I would go back to the slides. I know I did go very fast, but this webinar was just a quick overview about the main features of the tool. In case you'd like to have further information, well, just you can ask them today in the chat box here, or you can write us or get in touch with us through our social networks, Facebook, Twitter, or the other all our other email addresses that you can find in our contacts page in the web page. All right, so now we're going to talk about the some real cases where companies have used CMDBuild. We worked for a bank services company. We mapped all their full data center with all the network equipment, physical servers, virtualization infrastructure, different technology, and so on. So a lot of data. We put all that into the into CMDB Ready to Use. Created the control connectors with controlled database. Information containing the database with the reality, so the OCS inventory, VMware, Microsoft Hyper-V, EBH, HMC, and so on, adopting also the feature that would notify when there wouldn't be any correspondence between the reality and the information in the database structure in the database. Then we also implement CMDB Ready to Use for our radio and TV broadcast company. In this case, CMDB Ready to Use would collect alarms from different equipments. We'd also activated some ITIL processes of the incident management request fulfillment, which come as standard features in CMDB Ready to Use, as we said before. Then we did the technical asset management. They had some assets which were not included in the standard database of CMDB Ready to Use, so we created them all just as I show you. And then also we created a connector to exchange data with SAP. Then we also implemented CMDB Ready to Use for a governative agency. So they needed to manage their asset for client and server areas. So we activated the service desk processes for them, the incident management, request fulfillment, change management. Also the management of the asset lifecycle, which is another workflow that comes as standard in CMDB Ready to Use. And then we did some georeferencing of the assets on a 2D floor plans, and we're actually right now working on the use of the 3D IFC models. Another time we implemented CMDB Ready to Use was with the publishing company. We did an external data center mapping based on a connector with Microsoft Azure, which is a website for promotion of movies and books. So we inserted all that data into CMDB Ready to Use through the connector we developed ad hoc. Then we did a mapping of the internal data center as well, which was in this case based on the analysis of the configuration files of the application server, and the database creation, and then we also established all the proper relationships, and then we did some data analysis with the support of the new graph of relation, which we just saw. Another case we used CMDB Ready2Use was with a private company that provides services of data centers. So they needed to have a management over their technological assets. Then we they needed the connectors with OCS Inventory and VMware, which again are a standard feature. Then they activated the service desk workflow, where the users, the customers, trigger the incident and request workflow from the self-service portal, the one we saw before. CMDB Ready2Use, as you probably understood now, is the perfect CMDB to manage all the IT assets in your organization. In order to do so, in order to get CMDB Ready2Use and start using it today, you can get in touch with us and ask for our services, which are basically 4 main services. The one is the annual subscription, which is the is not a license, as there is the license for Ready2Use in AGPL. So it's not a license that you pay every year. Is the support maintenance for 1 year long, so you can have a help desk here from us, ready to answer your questions. You also get the virtual machine of the tools, so you don't have to worry about installation and configuration of all the external tools. You get all the other advanced feature, the advanced technical manual. You get the mobile app, of course. You get the all the remote updates as soon as new versions come out. Again, to have this in greater detail, to know about prices, quotes, everything, just feel free to drop us a line, and we will be very happy to answer you. Other services that we offer is the startup package. It's just a package of hours that we use to set the database structure as you want it, to configure the connectors with your external tools, and to give you the keys for turning on the engine of CMDB Ready2Use. Then same with the advice and customization package. In this case, we can perform all those activities that are not included in the other 2 services. For example, if you need to have customized reports or customized workflows, then we can perform that for you, or the training, so we can teach you how to do that. So then you'd become independent on doing them. All the information you got are here, and please get in touch with us. We will be more than happy again for answering you all the doubts you may have. I thank you very much, you all, for participating to this webinar. Hope hope I explained myself quite well, and then you got to understand how powerful this tool is, and how many possibilities you get by using this tool here. Thank you very much for your attention, and then please do visit our website or get in touch with us on Twitter or LinkedIn. All right. Well, bye bye.